चक्षुरुमिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति श्रीपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुक्तपदाकमलं श्रीगुरुवैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपा साग्रजातसाधन रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सवधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पदसागन ललिता श्री विशाखाविदं हरे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्ते तप्त कंचन गौरांगे राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानु देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिय मोक्षकपतरुभ्यः कृपासुरभिरच परितन प्रबले वैष्णव जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. So welcome to today's section. So just 1 second. We want to start a recitation so that we'll not waste so much time.
Prabhu Kabi, okay, by the way, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, please.
Just wanted to inform that Raj could not come to class because he is having examination this week.
Very good. It's very important for him to focus on his exam.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. Okay, let's start.
Okay, I'll start, Prabhuji. Bhagavad Gita 5.22. ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनय एव ते आद्यन्पन्त कौन्तेय नातेषु रमते बुधः. Translation: An intelligent person does not take part in a source of misery, which are due to contact with the sources of wait, I'll come again. Translation: An intelligent person does not take part in a source of misery, which are due to the contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and end, so the wise man does not delight in them. 5.2. Chapnoti haiva yashodum prakshariravimokshanat kamakrododbhavam vegam sayukta sa sukhi naraha. Translation: Before giving up this present body, one must be able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the force of desire and anger. He is well situated and happy in this world.
Haribo, thank you. You try with all your busy schedule. Try. Well, you try. Well done. Thank you. Next.
I go.
Yes, please.
5.18. Oh no. 5.22. Ye samsparsha boga dukhayanaya ebate adyantapanta kaunteya natisarmati bodha. Translation: An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery, which are due to contact with the material senses, O son of Kunti. Such pleasures have a beginning and end, so the wise man does not delight in them. And 5.23. Shaknuti haibaya sodom praksharira bimokshanat kamakrododvavam vigam sayokta sasukhina raha. Translation: Before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he is well situated and happy in this world.
Haribo. Well done. Want to try?
I'll go next, Prabhu. Okay.
Yes.
Chapter 5, text 22. Yahi samsparsha jaboga dukhayanaya evate adyantavanta kaunteya nateshuramate buddha. Translation: An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery which are due to contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end, and so the wise man does not delight in them. Chapter 5, text 23. Shapnoti haivayahasodhum praksharira vimokshanat kamakrodhodbhavam vegam sayuktaha sasukhina raha. Line by line translation. Shapnoti haivayahasodhum. One is able to tolerate in the present body. Praksharira vimokshanat. Before giving up the body. Kamakrodhodbhavam vegam. Desire and anger generated from urges. Sayuktaha sa sukhi naraha. He is in trance. He is a happy human being. Full translation. Before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the force of desire and anger, he is well situated and is happy in this world. Hare Krishna.
Very well. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Someone else? But Nyarika, what are you waiting for?
Yes, Prabhu, I'm actually thinking for the verse. Okay, 1 second. 522. Actually forgot 522, Prabhu.
You forgot it?
Yeah.
Oh.
1 second. Ye samsparsha jaboga dukkayonaya evate adyantavanta konteya nate shuramate buddha. Translation. An intelligent person does not take part in the source of misery, which are due to contact with the material senses. And, O son of Kunti, such pleasure have a beginning and an end, and so the wise man does not delight in them. 523. What is 523? What is 523? Beginning, Prabhu. What word is it? Okay, I got it. Okay, 523. Shaknati haivaya sodom praksharira vimokshanat kama krodod bhavam vegam sayukta sasakinaraha. Translation. Before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of the material senses and check the forces of desire and anger, he is well situated and happy in this world. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So let's continue. We should. Is memorization, is it difficult?
No. No.
It's not, Prabhu.
Okay. Because I can see that many of you are struggling to remember it. So I'm just thinking whether if it's difficult, then because it may be because some people also are not trying to come again, so we can just drop it. Well, are you okay?
It's you okay good, with Prabhu. This? Actually, I love the memorization.
I really want to memorize.
Every day we are getting fewer.
Okay, very good. Okay, it's all right. Because some people don't like to stress their memory, so we don't want to bother them also. But I will not make it compulsory now. But it's good for those who really want to keep on memorizing. Okay, so it's just a way of exercising the memory also. It's very good. See, it sharpens the memory, it purifies the intelligence, it purifies our mind. So I will make it optional, you know. I will not okay, everybody have to recite. You recite, okay. If you don't want to recite, we'll continue. Because I can see that it's dragging some people back, you know. Make them to come late, they don't feel like coming so that they don't. So I will not make it compulsory again, okay? Let's continue. So yesterday we stopped at 22.
Yes, Prabhu, it's 22.
Well, we were just focused on 22 yesterday because of third time. So we're going to 23 today. Where is Ryan Prabhu?
Hey, talking to Prabhu Captain Anuj.
Okay. It's all right.
He's coming.
So let's continue. Let's continue. Shaknoti ayaba sodom praksharira vimokshana kama krodha bhava vegam sayukta sukhi naraha. It's a very nice verse, actually. Before giving up this body, giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of material senses and check the force of desire and anger, is well situated and is happy in this world. So This is like a life mission. We should don't expect that you're able to achieve this in 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. No, it's a life mission. You have to understand that point. It's a life mission. That is why Krishna is saying, before giving up the present body, he didn't say before getting to the age of 30, or before getting to the age of 50, or before this. No. He said before giving up this body. Means that it's a lifetime mission. See, you give up this body, you have to continue to practice this. You see? Before giving up this present body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of material senses and check the force of desire and anger, is well situated and is happy in this world. So it's a life mission. We have to continue to tolerate the urges. What are those 6 urges in the Nectar of Instruction? Somebody want to remind us very fast?
Hello, Prabhu.
Yes.
The urges of the tongue, belly, and genital.
Yes.
Urges
There
to
is more.
speak.
There are more.
I can memorize. A sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the action of anger, the urges of the tongue, belly, and genitals is qualified to make disciples all over the world.
Very good. Thank you. Just understanding the translation is very nice. You see, so you have the urges of the speech, you have the urges of the mind, the stomach, the appetite, the tongue, all these urges. So you say before giving up the body, if one is able to tolerate the urges of material senses. So all these things are included in that material senses. The one I explained in Nectar of Instruction. Okay, and check the force of desire and anger. You see, if we want to really be happy, this is secret of happiness. You want to be happy? Focus on this. How to control these things. Then surely you will become happy. Okay, let's read the purport.
I'll read.
Yes, please go ahead.
Purport. If one wants to make steady progress on the path of self-realization, he must try to control the forces of the material senses. There are the forces of talk, forces of anger, forces of mind, forces of the stomach, forces of the genitals, and forces of the tongue. One who is able to control the forces of all these different senses and the mind is called Goswami or Swami. Such Goswamis live strictly controlled lives and forgo altogether the forces of the senses. Material desires, when unsatiated, generate anger, and thus the mind, eyes, and chest become agitated. Therefore, one must practice to control them before one gives up this material body. One who can do this is understood to be self-realized and is thus happy in the state of self-realization. It is the duty of the transcendentalist to try strenuously to control desire and anger. Hare Krishna.
So this is our duty. It's the main mission we have in life. We must try to control these forces of material senses. Talk, forces of anger, you see, proper mention all those things mentioned in the Nectar of Instruction. Proper mention all. So all the 6 urges mentioned in Rupa Shamita, proper mention them here. So one will have to be able to control. That is why Srila Rupa Goswami started the Nectar of Instruction with that. That is the first mission for all human beings, to control these urges. That is our life mission. If we really want to be happy, we have to learn to control these things. And those who are able to achieve this mission, they become masters to others. They become masters. We call them Swamis, Goswamis. People worship them because they are able to control these things. Because actually, in this world, everybody wants to control the other person. But we are all servant to our senses. You see? I want to control you, you want to control me, but we are all servant to our senses. But one who is able to control his senses, naturally everybody becomes that person's servant. Everybody naturally, they pay obeisances to that person. One who has been able to control his senses. So this is the life mission And we have to try our best to be able to fulfill this mission. You know, that's why that's why I added that verse, so that we can memorize it. You see? Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, Prabhu.
What are you seeing?
Purport.
Okay, let me stop it and let me stop and reshare. I want you to read Prabhupada's quotes. Can you see it now?
Not yet. Now, yes.
There it is.
Yes, read 23.
I'll read it, Prabhu. The yoga practice means one should be tolerant according to their practice. They enter deep water in winter and meditate. In scorching heat, they sit down in the midst of fires and meditate. These are the processes to learn tolerance. Fortunately, we do not have to do these things. Instead, we can chant in a nice room like this with statues of Jagannath and derive 1,000 times greater benefit than can be obtained from those practices. It would be very difficult for those people to imitate those practices. It may be possible for 1 or 2 persons, but it cannot be practiced on a mass scale. But this practice of self-realization can be practiced by anyone, even by the children. I'll continue, Prabhu.
Yes.
Okay. Prabhu, you went much more higher, supposed. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. Suppose a man is suffering from some disease. The doctor tells him to avoid solid food because he is accustomed to eating solid food. He wants to eat solid food. However, if he can obey the doctor, he will be cured very easily. Similarly, sense perception, sense pleasure is reserved for us in our spiritual life. That is actual sense pleasure. Here we are having sense pleasure artificially through this body. We have to avoid sense pleasure as much as possible. Krishna advises us to tolerate the urge of sense pleasure, and we have to order our life so that we can tolerate. That will give us advancement in spiritual life. And when we are achieved the spiritual plane, the enjoyment is unending and unlimited.
So the point is that we have to give up the material pleasure before we can, experience the spiritual pleasure. For our mind, it's very difficult to conceive this. Why should I give it up? Give me that spiritual pleasure first. Then let me see how it is. Then I can give this one up. That is how we think here. I want to have the spiritual pleasure first, no? Why do you want me to give up material pleasure before you give me the spiritual? But no, it doesn't work. You have to give up the material, then you can get the spiritual. You see? So that is how it works. If you don't give it up, you cannot get it. So let's continue. (24). Now we'll be going to peace formula very soon. So once we get to tomorrow is Kartik, I still don't know what is going to be happening from tomorrow because the timing will be clashing with our class time.
Yes.
Because immediately after the program is when we do Namam Isharam Sachi Anandarupam. So I don't know what will be happening from tomorrow. I'm still thinking. So we have to fix another time, and I don't know, except if you want to have a long time break.
1 month break.
Long time break. Except if you want to have a long time break. That is 1 month break.
1 month
Yeah,
break?
because it will start 7 up to 7:30. Yeah,
too
the Gilak
long.
offering.
I don't think it's 7:30. Sometimes it will go to 8 o'clock.
Yes.
Yeah.
It depends.
It depends.
It depends on how
There
many
are
people in
lack
the
of
temple.
visitors.
So I don't know. But let's continue thinking about it. Yeah. Okay. Yonta sukon antara masatata joti evaya Sayogi Brahma Nirvana Brahma Bhutodi Gachati. One whose happiness is within, who is active and rejoices within, and whose aim is inward, is actually the perfect mystic. He is liberated in the Supreme, and ultimately he attained the Supreme. So Krishna here is telling us, when we reach to that level, when we're able to control these urges and the anger and desires, then we can derive happiness within. To become active within. Your aim will become inward, and that is a devotee of the Lord. So let's listen to Prabhupada's purport, very short.
Okay. Unless one
is able to relish happiness from within. Okay, go ahead.
How can one retire from the external engagement meant for deriving superficial happiness? A liberated person enjoys happiness by factual experience. He can therefore sit silently and at any place and enjoy activities of life from within. Such a liberated person no longer desires external material happiness. This state is called Brahma Bhuta, attaining which one is assured of going back to Godhead, back to home.
So when we get to that level, we're already transcendental. Then we're already in the spiritual world, even when we are in this our body. The person is already a liberated soul. Because now it doesn't depend on the external pleasure of this world. It doesn't depend on the pleasure of the senses. It depends on the pleasure within. And that pleasure within is unlimited. So we cannot conceive it now, actually. We cannot conceive it until we just pray that Krishna give us a glimpse of it. Just, Krishna, please give us a glimpse. Then you will understand what it means. Because we can only, our situation is like a Mr. Frog. Mr. Frog in a well. Mr. Frog, he was born in a well. He has lived all his life in the well. So there's another frog who came from the ocean. And he was telling the Mr. Frog, "Oh, Mr. Frog, have you seen the ocean before?" And the Mr. Frog is trying to describe how big is the ocean. Oh, the other one, his friend told him, it's very huge, very big. And the frog was like puffing himself. Is he as big as this? Like he's trying to measure it with his well. He's trying to use the well to measure the ocean. How can he measure the ocean with well? You understand what I'm trying to say? So he cannot conceive the size of the ocean. He's just trying, because the well is so small compared to the ocean. So there's no how much maybe, for example, if you say, okay, is he as 100 times bigger than this, as big as this well? What is 100 times the size of the ocean? So the frog in the well can only imagine, but he cannot comprehend the size of the ocean. Because he will be trying to compare the ocean with the well. Because well is what he has been seeing, as a body of water. So he has not seen the ocean. So he cannot conceive it at all. So similarly, the spiritual happiness is far, far beyond what we can imagine. So the so-called material happiness, when we try to compare it with spiritual happiness, we're just like the frog in the well. We cannot comprehend it. We cannot comprehend. That is why you see people, they decided to go and live in the Himalayas. You'll be asking yourself, why? Because of the pleasure they are deriving within. They cannot sell it for anything in this world. They cannot like bargain it for anything in this world. They are so satisfied, But for we who are in this material pleasure, we can just try to comprehend. We can try to imagine, but we cannot understand it unless we taste it ourselves. And the only way to taste it is by practicing sincere devotional service. That is the only way. There's no other way. Labante Brahma Nirvana Rishaya Shinash Karmashaha Shinash Those who are beyond the duality that arise from doubts, whose minds are engaged within, who are always busy working for the welfare of all living beings, and who are free from all sins, achieve liberation in the Supreme. You see, Krishna is saying those who have reached that level, they will dedicate their life for the welfare of others. Although for themselves, they are not interested in any other pleasure again. But just for the pleasure to help others, they will engage in all kinds of activities. So let's see a purpose for quotes.
I read.
Yes.
Only a person who is fully Krishna consciousness can be said to be engaged in welfare work for all living entities. When a person is actually in the knowledge that Krishna is the fountainhead of everything, then he acts in that spirit, he acts for everyone. The suffering of humanity are due to forgetfulness of Krishna as the supreme enjoyer, the supreme proprietor, and the supreme friend. Therefore, to act to revive this consciousness within the entire human society is the highest welfare works. One cannot be engaged in such first-class welfare work without being liberated in the Supreme. A Krishna consciousness person has no doubt about supremacy of Krishna. He has no doubt because he is completely freed from all sins. This is the state of divine love. A person engaged only in ministering to the physical welfare of human society cannot factually help anyone. Temporary relief of the external body and the mind is not satisfactory. The real cause of one's difficulties in the hard struggle of life may be found in one's forgetfulness of his relationship with Supreme Lord. When a man is fully conscious of his relationship with Krishna, he is actually a liberated soul, although he may be in the material tabernacle. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Sorry if you see me a seconds away, just trying to manage some things on my electric cooker. Okay. Because I came a little bit late, so sometimes you have to voice something that you will take then at the same time in the class. Oh, it's all right. Okay, so let's continue. Kama kroda vimokta yatam yatnam yatashe tasamabito brahma nirvanam vartate viditatmanam. So Krishna is trying to conclude the position of a person who is transcendentally situated. That is what Krishna has been describing till now, and that is how he's going to conclude this chapter. And I wish we finish this chapter today, so that what happens, once we decide when are we going to visit class 4, with the Catholic and also continue with the same timing, how are we going to do it? Please think. It's a collective effort. And before the end of the class, I want us to come with a conclusion. We have 30 minutes to think now. So as we are doing the class, continue to think and strategize, and let Krishna guide us within. Okay? Do we want a long time break or we want to continue? So let's think. Because if we go long time break, everybody will become lazy by the time we come back. You see? So those who are free from anger and all material desire, who are self-realized, self-disciplined, and constantly endeavoring for perfection, and are sure of liberation in the Supreme in the very. So see, again and again, Krishna is stressing this. You see? I don't know how many of you observing this? Now we have been reading from chapter 1 to this place. Have you been observing this again and again?
Yes.
Krishna is stressing these points again and again, because these things are our real enemy in this life, truly. So he said, those who are free from anger and all material desires, who are self-realized, self-disciplined, and constantly endeavoring for perfection, are assured of liberation in the Supreme in the very near future. So this is our life mission. This is our life mission. Apart from our material pursuit, in spiritual life, this is our goal. To be able to control these things, to follow these principles, because that is the only way we can achieve perfection. If not, it's not possible. You see? Let's read the purpose.
I read it for you.
Yes.
Of the saintly persons who are constantly engaged in striving toward salvation, one who is in Krishna consciousness is the best of all. The Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 22, verse 39, confirms this as follows: Yat pada pankaja palasha vilasha bhaktya karma shayam gatitam udgratayanti santaha tadvam narikta matayo yatayo pirudah Shroto Ganastam Aranam Vaja Vasudevam. Just try to worship in devotional service Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even great sages are not able to control the forces of the senses as effectively as those who are engaged in transcendental bliss by serving the lotus feet of the Lord, uprooting the deep-grown desire for fruitive activities. In the conditioned soul, the desire to enjoy the fruitive results of work is so deep-rooted that it is very difficult even for the great sages to control such desires. Despite great endeavors, a devotee of the Lord, constantly engaged in devotional service in Krishna consciousness, perfect in self-realization, very quickly attains liberation in the Supreme. Owing to his complete knowledge and self-realization, he always remains in trance. To cite an analogous example, Darshana Dhyana Samsparshar Matsya Kurma Vihangamaha Swanya Patyani Pushnanti Tataham Api Padmaja. By vision, by meditation, and by touch, only do the fish, the tortoise, and the birds maintain their offspring. Similarly do I also, O Padmaja. The fish brings up its offspring simply by looking at them. The tortoise brings up its offspring simply by meditation. The eggs of the tortoise are laid on the land, and the tortoise meditates on the eggs while in the water. Similarly, the devotee in Krishna consciousness, although far away from the Lord's abode, can elevate himself to that abode simply by thinking of him constantly. By engagement in Krishna consciousness, he does not feel the pangs of material miseries. This state of life is called Brahma Nirvana, or the absence of material miseries due to being constantly immersed in the Supreme. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, from reading again and again these points, we can understand proper mention in the purport. Unless, even for the great sages to be able to control their senses and control this force of material desire is not easy, very difficult. Only through devotional service. And proper mention in the purport, we must engage in devotional service in Krishna consciousness. You see, sometimes when we hear about devotional service, we think, oh, I'm doing devotional service. In what consciousness are you doing devotional service? That is very, very important. So devotional service should be done in Krishna consciousness. Because we can be engaging in devotional service in other consciousness, first ego consciousness, I'm the dual consciousness. Everything is centered around me consciousness, whatever. So many of different kind of consciousness, you see. But devotional service has to be performed in Krishna consciousness. Very, very important. And that is why Srila Prabhupada, when he wanted to name this movement, what did he give this? What did he name the movement? International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Very, very important. This society is for making people Krishna conscious. So we have to engage in devotional service in Krishna consciousness. Very, very important. So that is the point. So we can see again and again, Krishna is stressing this point that we have to be able to control anger and our material desires. Everybody in this world, material world, has these thoughts, desires, and anger. Some people hide it. Some people are very good in hiding their anger. You know, some people are very good in hiding their desires, but we all have it. You see? So we have to somehow or the other purify ourselves of this. Very, very important. Okay? Let's continue. So we have more 3 verses. Can we finish it today? Let's see. Are you with me?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, we are.
Okay. I see that everybody is very serious with their screen. I was thinking maybe you are meditating on something else.
Meditating on the time for the class tomorrow.
Ah, very good. Oh, I want to get the best idea. By the end of the class, I want to get the best idea. Okay. Spansha Kritwa Bayam Shakshu Shaivantare Bruvo Prana Pano Sama Krito Lasam Yantara Charino Yatendre Yamano Budi Muni Moksha Parayanaha Ligate Chavaya Krodo Yasada Muktai Vasa. Shutting out all external sense objects, keeping the eyes and vision concentrated between the eyebrows, suspending the inward and outward breaths within the nostrils, thus controlling the minds, senses, and intelligence. The transcendental aiming at liberation becomes free from desire, fear, and anger. One is always in this state, is eternally liberated. So Krishna gave a glimpse of Dhyana yoga to Arjuna. This verse is sowing the seed for chapter 6. Krishna is describing this to Arjuna. And this is what Krishna is going to describe in chapter 6 in details. It's just like he's telling him, this is how yogis behave. Then Arjuna is going to ask questions, you see? In that way, it's giving him intro to chapter 6. That this is how a Dhyana yogis behave. Okay, so let's read the purpose. One story.
Okay, Prabhu. Being engaged in Krishna consciousness, one can immediately understand one's spiritual identity, and then one can understand the Supreme Lord by means of devotional service. When one is well situated in devotional service, one comes to the transcendental position, qualified to feel the presence of the Lord in the sphere of one's activity. This particular position is called liberation in the Supreme. After explaining the above principles of liberation in the Supreme, the Lord gives instruction to Arjuna as to how one can come to that position by practice of mysticism or yoga known as Ashtanga Yoga, which is divisible into an eightfold procedure called Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayam, Pratyahara, Dharana, Jnana, and Samadhi. In the sixth chapter, the subject of yoga is explicitly detailed, and at the end of the fifth, it is only preliminary explained. One has to drive out the sense objects such as sound, touch, form, taste, and smell by the pratyahara process in yoga, and then keep the vision of the eyes between the two eyebrows and concentrate on the tip of the nose with half-closed lids. There is no benefit in closing the eyes altogether because then there is every chance of falling asleep. Nor is there benefit in opening the eyes completely because then there is the hazard of being attracted by sense object. The breathing movement is restrained within the nostril by neutralizing the up-moving and down-moving air within the body. By practice of such yoga, one is able to gain control over the senses, refrain from outward sense objects, and thus prepare oneself for liberation in the Supreme. This yoga process helps one become free from all kinds of fear and anger and thus feel the presence of the super soul in the transcendental situation. In other words, Krishna consciousness is the easiest process of executing yoga principles. This will be thoroughly explained in the next chapter. A Krishna-conscious person, however, being always engaged in devotional service, does not risk losing his senses to some other engagement. This is a better way of controlling the senses done by Ashtanga Yoga. Hare Krishna.
So Krishna is giving an intro to chapter 6 to Arjuna about the Ashtanga Yoga. And after explaining the whole process of Ashtanga Yoga to Arjuna in chapter 6, you'll be surprised. Arjuna will boldly, he will boldly, confess to Krishna. Krishna, this process is very difficult for me to practice. This is very difficult. I cannot do it. I cannot control my mind. You see? Then Krishna was now started talking about chapter 7, and chapter 8, talking about devotional service gradually like that until chapter 12. So you can see Krishna is giving Arjuna all options. Just like in Bhagavatam also. Parishit Maharaj only asks the question, what should a dying man do? What should he remember? What should he think? What should he worship? And the whole 12th canto of Bhagavatam was explained. Talking about Krishna's form, about the different planets, talking about devotional service, talking about Krishna pastimes, just for these only questions that Parishit Maharaj asked. So the same thing also, Arjuna wanted to refuse, decline from doing his duty, performing his duties. Just because of that, Krishna gave this whole lecture of Bhagavad Gita about different yoga systems and how Arjuna should perform his duty by focusing and giving the result to him. Just because of that point. So Krishna is a supreme personality of God, is a perfect God. Just with one stone, he can kill many birds. Just by giving this knowledge to Arjuna, he has given all the different processes we have in this world. Whether you are a Moniso, whether you are a Vaishnava, whether you are an atheist, whatever you belong to, you find one verse in Bhagavad Gita that suits you. Krishna took his time to explain everything, covers everything. That is why even the impersonalists, the so-called impersonalists, they are taking shelter only in Bhagavad Gita. They study Bhagavad Gita like us. How is it that they cannot realize that Krishna is a person? That is Krishna's mystic power, you see? So that is why you see in every page, Prabhupada is again and again, if you look every page of Prabhupada, you always see, you will find one place there we mention Krishna consciousness, devotional service, Krishna consciousness. If you just go through all the pages, because that is Prabhupada's conclusion of the whole Bhagavad Gita is Krishna wants us to surrender to him and become Krishna conscious. That is devotees' understanding. And because of that, you see Prabhupada put it in every of the purports. Krishna consciousness. Even sometimes where it's been when it is translated about yoga, karma yoga, Prabhupada will put it in the purport or in the translation, Krishna consciousness. Krishna is talking about karma yoga, but Prabhupada is seeing this as Krishna consciousness. You see? So that is it. That is Prabhupada. He's only seeing Krishna, 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 and only Krishna, nothing else. So the same thing also, that is the conclusion of this. Here, Krishna is explaining to Arjuna about this after he has already explained to him that we should we should perform in devotional service, thinking of him, surrendering our result to him, engaging in activity with knowledge. When we do that, then we'll be able to realize that we are not this body. We'll be able to have equal vision. We're able to have equal vision, and then after having equal vision, then you'll be able to be transcendentally situated. You derive pleasure within. Then we will not be able to take pleasure in the external pleasure again. Then such person is easier for them to be able to give up anger, material desires. Then Krishna again started discussing about how one who have already reached this transcendental stage is equiposed in talking about the Sangha Yoga, and that is a prelude to the next chapter. You see, Krishna. Now he want to start a new topic, and because he wanted to start a new topic, is citing this in what he's already explaining. So Arjuna is going to, press further, and the new topic will start. So now I've realized and I've discovered I'm going to give each one of you, the assignment I'm going to give each one of you is to summarize each chapter of Bhagavad Gita we have done. Somebody will summarize chapter 1, somebody will summarize chapter 2, somebody will summarize chapter 3, somebody will summarize chapter 4, somebody will summarize chapter 5. Like you will just explain it to me, like the way I'm explaining chapter 5 now. Like Krishna is talking about Kavikarnapura yoga, then is how we should engage. Just after I finish talking about we should do the service with knowledge in chapter 4, then it's telling Arjuna how that can be performed in chapter 5, because that kind of activity does not bring reaction. And when you perform such activity, then you become equipos, you can see equalists, Pandita Samadashina. Once you come to that stage, then you derive pleasure in the sense, external pleasure does not attract you again. See, I want us to summarize. I'm not giving you your chapters, so I'm just saying. And I will look for somebody who will be able to in just one paragraph, summarize the whole Bhagavad Gita from chapter 1 to chapter 6. Chapter 1 to chapter 6. Like Krishna said like this in chapter 1 and like this, and because of like this, like that. I want you to be able to grasp the Bhagavad Gita like you should have the whole picture of the Krishna lecture to Arjuna, like in the picture in your mind. Like the flow of the Bhagavad Gita, to have it like a picture in your mind. What is the essence of Bhagavad Gita? That is why we are going to do that assignment. And just get ready, be warming up for that. Don't worry, I will take it by surprise when I'm going to give you the assignment. Just be warming up for it. Okay? Yeah. Are you okay with that assignment?
Yes.
Oh, very good. Any other person who is not okay with the assignment?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, okay.
Everyone's okay with it.
Yes. Yeah, because it's going to be very wonderful, actually. It makes you to be able to. So when you are trying to summarize the Bhagavad Gita, I'm not expecting you to go and read the purport. Just read the verses and put all the things together. You see? And put it in your own words. You read all the verses. Even now that we are going to Kartik tomorrow, you can read Bhagavad Gita one chapter a day. Just read only the verses. Sometimes when we see the volumes because of the purport, we feel discouraged to read. No, just read only the verses so that you can get the picture of the Krishna's knowledge in your head. Probably the explanation is okay. That is why we are studying it here. But you should be able to grasp the whole picture of how Krishna directly spoke to Arjuna in your head. Grasp it. So you can do that only by reading the verses without reading the purport. You see? Purport is like to understand more what Krishna is talking in the verse. But just reading the verses alone, try to grasp what Krishna is explaining to Arjuna. That is what we are going to do. Okay? So now any question or comment or any idea regarding how we are going to run our Kartik period? Then we will take the last verse. The last verse.
Say it.
We're actually not so sure, probably, because Mother Nikki and I were talking about the time, but unfortunately for both of us, me before the class, like we were talking if it was gonna be earlier, like around 5 to 6. However, both of us have like work. I have like extra tutorial class and she has work as well. And then we were thinking like moving it to 8 to 9, but then it's like almost prasadam time at the temple. So everyone will be like getting that.
No, it's actually very good. 8 to 9 is okay.
8 to 9 is okay.
No,
I'm not sure if everyone is okay with 8 to 9. I'm okay with 8 to 9.
No. 8 to 9 is okay. Very good. Thank you. Very good idea. That is why, we have to rub our minds. You see, 8 to 9 is actually good. You see, And the only concern is about Ryan and Angel Matanjin. But what happened is that you can actually do your service before the time, so that you, when you say tonight, you can free yourself, you know.
Yeah, we will try, Prabhu, because 8 to 9, okay, we can do our service, but who will be securing in the Prasadam area?
Don't worry, somebody else can do it. You tell Mataji,
Okay.
tell Mataji they will arrange somebody to do it. Don't worry yourself.
Okay.
So I think that's a very good idea. 8 to 9 will be nice. So we will do that. Yeah. Okay, so let's continue and read the final verse.
Last word.
We're supposed to be reading the shloka of the the 529 before now, but we have not been reading it.
I'm ready, Prabhu.
You said?
I'm ready.
You already memorized it?
Yes, Prabhu.
Wow, very good. Mother Angel, she's really fired up. The fire is burning very high. I'm very happy. Good. Okay, recite it for us before we read it. Okay. Before we open it, recite it for us.
Okay. Oh, wait. Bhaktaram yagna tapasam sarvaloka mahesvaram sarvam sarva bhutanam sarva bhutanam pinatwamam santim rechate. Translation: a person of full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifice and austerities, the Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material misery. Hare Krishna.
Right, thank you. Very good. Actually, Prabhupada called that verse the peace formula. So let's go into it and see what Prabhupada say in the purport. Prabhupada call it the peace formula. You want to read the purport?
Yes, Prabhu.
Already recited it for us, so you can read the purport.
Okay. The conditioned soul within the clutches of illusory energy are all anxious to attain peace in the material world, but they do not know the formula for peace, which is explained in this part of Bhagavad Gita. The greatest peace formula is simply this: Lord Krishna is the beneficiary in all human activities. Man should offer everything to the transcendental service of the Lord because he is the proprietor of all planets and the demigods thereon. No one is greater than he. He is greater than the greatest of the demigods, Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma in the Vedas in Shrutasvatara Upanishad, chapter 6, verse 7. The Supreme Lord is described as Tam Ishvaram, Ishvaranam, Paramam Maheshvaram. Under the spell of illusion, living entities are trying to be lords of all they survey. But actually, they are dominated by the material energy of the Lord. The Lord is the master of all material nature, and the conditioned souls are under the stringent rules of material nature. Unless one understands these bare facts, it is not possible to achieve peace in the world, either individually or collectively. This is the sense of Krishna consciousness. Lord Krishna is the supreme predominator, and all living entities, including the great demigods, are his subordinates. One can attain perfect peace only in complete Krishna consciousness. The 5th chapter is a practical explanation of Krishna consciousness, generally known as Karma Yoga. The question of mental speculation as to know Karma Yoga can give liberation is answered herewith. To work in Krishna consciousness is to work with the complete knowledge of the Lord as the predominator. Such work is not different from transcendental knowledge. Direct Krishna consciousness is Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga is a path leading to Bhakti Yoga. Krishna consciousness means to work in full knowledge of one's relationship with the Supreme Absolute. And the perfection of these consciousness is full knowledge of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A pure soul is the eternal servant of God. As his fragmental part and parcel, he comes into contact with Maya, illusion, due to the desire to it over Maya. And this is the cause of his many sufferings. As long as he is in contact with the matter, he has to execute work in terms of material necessities. Krishna consciousness, however, brings one into spiritual life even while one is within the jurisdiction of matter, for it is an arousing of spiritual existence by practice in the material world. The more one is advanced, the more he is freed from the clutches of matter. The Lord is not partial toward anyone. Everything depends on one's practical performance of duties in Krishna consciousness, which helps one control the senses in every respect and conquer the influence of desire and anger. And one who stands fast in Krishna consciousness, controlling the above-mentioned passions, remains factually in the transcendental stage, or Brahma Nirvana. The Eightfold Yoga mysticism is automatically practiced in Krishna consciousness because the ultimate purpose is served. There is a gradual process of elevation in the practice of yoga, in the practice of yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. But these only preface perfection by devotional service, which only can award peace to the human being. It is the highest perfection of life. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to the 5th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of karma yoga, or action in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna.
We didn't finish it.
Finish, Prabhu.
We didn't finish it. No, you didn't
Yes.
finish it.
Okay, I reread
No.
I reread it again. Thus end the
No, how do
Bhaktivedanta.
you?
Which one?
Yes.
I
Yeah,
read
that
it.
is it. That is the end. You have not read it. Thus end.
Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports to the 5th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of karma yoga, or action in Krishna consciousness.
Yeah. So now I want to ask a question. What is the difference between this karma yoga or action in Krishna consciousness and the karma yoga of chapter 3? What is the difference? I want someone to tell me. You are muted.
Prabhu, I'll try.
Okay.
Yes, so chapter 3, the karma yoga, it explains on how you are following the scriptural injunctions and the, like, what do you call this one? Like it's like the fruitive results with the proper, what do you call? I lost the word. With the proper I mean that you are actually following the scriptures and as well as the Vedas and also the instructions of the scriptures itself. But for this chapter, karma in action, or karma yoga, or action in Krishna consciousness, this is basically your devotional service to Krishna and how you are doing your actions while devoting it to the Lord. So basically it's like you're not gaining fruitive result, but gaining a spiritual advancement towards your bhakti to Krishna. I'm not sure, Prabhu. Just
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Someone else want to say something? The difference between the karma yoga in chapter 3 and the karma yoga or action in Krishna consciousness, chapter 5. Nobody want to say something, only Mother Niharika. Mother Nikki, are you talking to us or you're talking to yourself?
No, I was saying, Prabhu, that I wasn't there, but so I don't know what to say, but I can try.
Okay. Oh, you were not there in chapter 3?
Yeah, chapter 1 to 3. I was absent for
sorry.
2 months, Prabhu. I'm very sorry.
I understand. Sorry. Okay. Prabhu Ryan, what do you want to say? You were here all throughout. You are supposed to raise your hand first.
Yeah. In chapter 5, the Karma Yoga, Action and Krishna Consciousness, this is what do you call this? This is what do you call this? Work in devotion. But the Karma Yoga, it talks about the chapter 3, the Buddhi Yoga, the yoga of the intellect. In the chapter 5, it talks about the Karma Yoga. By practicing the Karma Yoga, if you need to offer the fruits of your work to God and do not lament. What else? Wait, Prabhu, I need to check.
Check and think, no problem. Someone else? Okay, let me just save time so that we can all go on time. Okay, thank you very much, Mother Niarika. You try a lot. I really appreciate. Prabhu Ryan, thank you. You say something. It's all right. But I was expecting more. Okay. See, Karma Yoga, just like Mother Niarika said, means you will see in chapter 3, Krishna talks about, engaging your duty, offering the result to the demigod, performing the activities, different activities. Then in chapter 10, he say, okay, we have to perform sacrifice for Vishnu. So in chapter 3, basically, Krishna was talking about performing the duty, following the scriptural injunctions. That is Karma Yoga. You see, performing your duty, following scriptural injunction. That is Karma Yoga. Also expecting some results. Then in chapter 4, it went further to explain about the importance of knowledge. After telling Arjuna about his appearance and why he appeared and all, so he talks to Arjuna the importance of knowledge. Then in chapter 5, started telling Arjuna about how you should add knowledge to that action. And so it becomes Nishkarma Karma Yoga. Means action performed, but not desiring the results. So chapter 5 is Karma Yoga. Action in Krishna consciousness means Nishkarma Karma Yoga. Nishkarma Karma Yoga means engaging in action without desiring the result, because you are engaging in it with knowledge, giving the result to the Supreme. You will see in the beginning of the chapter 5, that is what Krishna was focusing on. So basically, that is the difference between 3, ordinary Karma Yoga, and chapter 5, Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness. One is following the scriptural injunction in performing your duty, and the other one is engaging in devotional service, engaging in your duty, but not desiring results, giving the result to the Supreme. That is Nishkarma Karma Yoga. So in chapter 3, Krishna explained Karma Kanda. Karma Kanda means if you follow the scripture, you do this, you get this, you do this, you do that. Then gradually Krishna elevates Arjuna to Karma Yoga. From Karma Kanda to Karma Yoga. You see? Then in the beginning of chapter 4, after describing about his appearance and the importance of his appearance, then Krishna started talking about Jnana Yoga, Jnana Kanda, importance of ordinary knowledge. Then towards the end of chapter 4, he started talking about Jnana Yoga. That is engaging your knowledge in realizing the Supreme Lord. Then at the end of chapter 4, he told Arjuna, now you stand up and fight, now that you are in knowledge. Okay? Then Arjuna asked questions to clarify. Based on, now Krishna has told him, oh, you know, you say I should engage in action. Now you say that I should just cultivate knowledge. Which one should I do? Should I just be inactive or I should act? Krishna, please tell me. Then Krishna started chapter 5. Started telling him, okay, no, I'm not saying you should be inactive. Actually, the renunciation means you act without desiring the results. They started talking about chapter 5. You see? So that is it. You see how I'm trying to connect it in a flow? That is how I want you to summarize it when I give you as an assignment. Okay? Yes. To have the picture of Bhagavad Gita in your head. Like, oh, this is what Krishna meant in Bhagavad Gita. You have the full picture in your head like that. That is how we are going to do it. Okay? So we stop here. We're already at the end of the time. So from tomorrow, we're going to start by 8 o'clock. Okay?
Okay, Prabhu.
Only on Tuesday, we will not be having class every Tuesday because Tuesday I go to the altar. By the time I will go to the altar, I will be already late. We will not have class on Tuesdays. But Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we'll be having till the end of Kartik, 8 o'clock. Now you have to reset your time alarm because so that your mind can adjust. And now adjusting to 8 p.m. So that when we listen to Bhagavad Gita, once you finish listening to Bhagavad Gita, you just lie down on your bed and sleep. And you'll be dreaming of Bhagavad Gita. You'll be seeing Krishna and Arjuna on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Okay. Any question or comments? Mother Tripura, what is going on? So much on your head about tomorrow's program, eh?
I came to my friend's house on the way.
Oh, okay.
I was just inviting her.
Very good. I see that you put your hand like this. No, when somebody put their hand like this, so many on the head, you know. That is psychology, you know. I know psychology also. When you do like this, maybe you're thinking. Okay. Maybe you're thinking of Krishna or you're thinking of tomorrow's program. One of them.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I invite all the devotees over here to come and visit us.
Okay, she'll come and visit tomorrow. So announce to them, you have not informed them.
Prabhuji, I have informed, like I'm sending the posters now.
Oh, okay. But they are here with you. Just announce to them. Beg them to come.
Yeah, sure, tomorrow.
Say it. You are not speaking.
Yeah.
They are not hearing you.
Mataji, Nikki Mataji, Niharika Mataji, Ryan Prabhuji, Inil Mataji, and especially you, Kavi Prabhuji. Everyone, you're welcome here. Let's make the Damodar Aarti event run success here in Las Piñas. Yeah, a lot of medical students will be joining us.
So Mother Tripura is organizing a ground program in Las Piñas. So they want to devote it to open the Damodar Mounds in Las Piñas, you know, and give the blessing to all the Las Piñas devotees. So they are inviting all of us to come. So let's go. All road leads to Las Piñas tomorrow. All road leads to Las Piñas. Damodara Mass. Okay. So thank you very much, everyone, for giving your time to come. Some of our devotees, they are having some challenges. That's why they could not meet up. Let us pray for them and put them in our prayers so that Krishna will help them and take care of them so that they can be with us very fast. Okay. And yes, one way or the other. Yes, they could not make it because they are thinking of something else, they are arranging something else or whatever. So they told me they are going to join us, just like Raj also is doing his exam. So we should pray for him so that Krishna give him retentive memory, okay? Let's pray for all our devotees, okay? Let's chant one Hare Krishna for all of them. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Just send all your blessings to them. Hare Krishna. Jai. So Vancha Kapataru Vyaschati Pasunda Vyavacha Paditanam Pavane Vaishnavi Vyonabunam. So see you tomorrow, 8 p.m. Oh, we will be in Las Pinas.
Tomorrow, I think there won't be any class.
So tomorrow there will not be class. So, but that Tripura already taken tomorrow. Okay.
No, Prabhu will take class here, offline class.
Okay, so tomorrow we'll be in Las Pinas, so we will not be here. Okay. Modaniki also, she's very excited, so she's going to come. I can see it on her face.
I don't think it's possible, Prabhu. It's too far. It's too far away.
Oh, no one will send the to pick you in your place and send you back to your house. Don't worry. The students will be very happy to see students like them. You know, they will be very happy. You know, they will feel encouraged, especially the Filipinos in Las Pinas medical school. They will be very encouraged to see Filipinos also. You know, so let's see how we can make it. Okay, no problem. Don't be pressured. Don't be pressured. Okay, just think about it. If you are free, you can come. If you're not free, no problem. Okay? Okay, so let's go. See you tomorrow, Hare Krishna. No, see you the day after tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be holiday because tomorrow is beginning of Kartik. So Ryan Prabhu, there will not be class tomorrow. We start again on Friday.
Tomorrow, yeah, Friday. Oh, yeah.
Okay? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Don't worry, with all the busy activities, everything going on, we try to manage to control our mind to be here.